Peace, love, and light, guys. It's your guy, Professor O, coming through with a dose of that good yo. Come everywhere like broken glass. I'm around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Today, I want to talk about, I don't know how to even name it. I'll find a title that will better suit it, but it's pretty much dealing with people who are a hater and they're a stalker at the same time. I need you to understand that these individuals truly do exist, and they are very, very prominent in number, more than you can imagine. And what is a hater stalker? Pretty much it's a hater that looks at you and just hates you and just overall just don't like your progress in life. Don't want you to be cool, don't want you to be smooth, don't want none of that. But they stalk you. Not only do they hate you, they watch you consistently to hate on you even further. Now, I need you to understand this. I need you to have truly comprehension of what I'm speaking about right now. Is that when you're literally a hater and a stalker, then you're dealing with someone that is in the delusional mother effer. I need you to really understand this, because how can you consistently watch something that you hate? It is insane to me. And you are dealing with an insane individual and individuals. I digress. All right, let's get to the point. Unfortunately for these individuals is that they do not understand true kindness. Why? Because again, these are a lot of individuals who forfeited their light. And again, I always speak about the light, and I always speak about the light that God has already given you, because when you're given a certain light and when it turns on, you see yourself for who you truly are. You're no longer projecting your insecurities on the other. You're going inside and fixing these insecurities, so now they actually make you more secure. Your insecurities become your security, meaning those things that made you more shy, bashful, anxious, and uncomfortable are now your protective gate, and your confidence and your high self-esteem activating. So now you'll be able to walk in the rooms, same equally confident in all everything that you do, right? But when you're dealing with individuals like this, you got to realize they're light. Again, because you hit a crossroad path, right? It's kind of like the hero-villain syndrome. The hero-villain, as I call it, right? You heard it. You get the hero-villain, right? The hero-villain, the hero-villain sequence is what I call it. Is that now when you're progressing through life, right? You're gonna hit your cross path, right? You're either gonna be a hero or a villain. And I'm not talking about superhero where you're going out saving the day, blah blah blah. No, I'm not talking about being a villain that, oh, you're gonna be out there, robbing banks and doing all this extra crap. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you perceive your reality, right? And you do it because at the end of the time, if you realize up until that crossroad point, the individual experiences negative just like the next, right? There's no distinguish. Like, everyone went through their own BS, right? If you look at it, every hero, every villain went through their own BS. It's just what made that firm decision for them to take on. Now the hero, he makes that firm decision and be like, you know what, I've been through BS my whole entire life. I don't want anyone to feel like that. I don't want to be the cause of it, and I don't want anybody to feel like that. A very strenuous road, but it also deals with a lot of healing, and these are the individuals that become legends. And now you deal with the villain to be like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, man, I felt this world messed me up, this world tortured me, this, that, and the third. I want everybody to feel what I felt. Why should I be the only one to feel it, etc., and so forth. And then they go out and do likewise. And now they become what they actually was done to them. They become what they hate. And again, also, unfortunately, these individuals become legends. And the one that just stays, the teeter-totter in between, they're tortured by their own self because they never made a firm decision, etc., and so forth. I digress, don't have time to go into that. But when you're dealing with a hater stalker, I need you to realize these are individuals that not necessarily are heroes and not necessarily are villains. These are subsidiaries that kind of step to the wayside and are just negative, bitch ass niggas. And I don't need to use profanity in my videos. I'm really trying to work on it. I'm trying to find a proper term to be able to describe these individuals. But until then, this is what it is, and this is what I perceive them to be. And they don't, I don't understand. I don't even know how to explain it, to be very honest with you. But it is what it is, right? But I digress. Like, they hate, they stalk, they watch, they copy, they mimic, and it's like they lost their sense of self, right? They have no originality in them. And that is something that you're truly going against God. Again, I look at my video, spiritual suicide, because you're literally killing your own self to put on somebody else. But that's not your face. That's not your light. That's not your code. That's not your frequency. That's not your signal. You can't put on another signal. It won't match up. It's like pretty much, all right, for instance, if you know you got this beautiful cologne, right? You need to put a cologne on so you can smell fresh. But here's the issue. The issue is that cologne don't even belong to you. So number one, you shouldn't even be looking at it, nor even imagining you using it. But in the others, they're going to use it anyway, right? All right, great, you use it. But here's the thing, you're using it, and you ain't even take a shower. You bad, musty bastard. How dare you? So not only are you using someone else's cologne, so you walking around smelling like them and you're trying to get compliments on it, you didn't even take a shower to compliment the cologne. So now you musty as hell on all underneath there. And by the time that you even think you're gonna get a few compliments in the beginning, but guess what? As you move along or grooving along, your must is gonna overcome that good smell because number one, that cologne is not yours to even use and it won't last. So you can't go back and use it again. And if you do go back to use it again, you gotta go through so many hoops and loops to even try to do it. You're malfunctioning. You're in the wrong. Additionally, you didn't even take a shower. So you just walk around smelling like funk. And now funk is gonna come out and show yourself. You bad bastard. Does that make any sense? No, but these are individuals that do it, right? And unfortunately, they come together and they have these other little cliques, groups, etc. and so forth. Hey, you a hater? Hey, I'm a hater too. All right, hate on each other. Woohoo! This, that, and the third. They don't even like each other. It's crazy, but they just have a common goal to hate on somebody else that has nothing to do with them. Imagine living your life and then someone tries to enter your life and competes with you in your life when you're just minding your business trying to live your life. You're like, yo, what? He can work out, I can work out. You're a fucking loser. Excuse my profanity here. Work with me. Work in progress, developing just like the next. Can you dig it? I think you can. Appreciate you guys. I love the patience. Let's continue on because you know I can diverse. So let's end that with I digress. I just said that. Yes, they see competition and rivalry with things you do naturally. They don't want to learn. They don't want to grow. They don't want to. They don't want it. They want the ending goal. They want the glory, but not the story. And the bullshit is that they want to put on the signal of living through the story. And they want the ending glory, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to learn. They don't want to be able to apply it to themselves. They don't want to go and do the inner work. You got to realize this also. For individuals like this, who turn their light on, ain't nothing wrong with me, and they continuously live in fault by continuously living in that like malfunction state. You got to realize they're adding in more dirt, they're adding in more grime, more filth on top of what was already there. See, you got to realize when that light turns on, that's God giving you the go ahead. Like, yo, listen, this is it. You're gonna have many other moments, but listen, take advantage of this light moment now. Your light's been turned on. Clean up. Clean yourself, do the inner work, because as you do the inner work, you'll be able to shine your light properly and you won't be able to feel the things you may need to feel in the future. Trust me, it's not, you don't want it to go through that route. But again, people personalize it instead of generalizing the situation, and then now they don't want to do it. Remember, discipline will always outshine talent. But however, discipline plus talent, well, that's a God-given sight right there. Beautiful. I must say, very beautiful. I digress. Right? Sunroom. See. I said that as well. Oh, I kind of knocked it through. It's like, imagine it like this, right? And I say this term genuinely, sincerely, and I say this in the most sensitive point because number one, first, I want to make a disclaimer for this, right? Because I'm very, very sensitive when it comes to intellect and how people project their own intellectual perspective onto others. I'm very sensitive towards that because I truly love to hear other people's point of view. I truly don't think anyone's dumb. I don't think anyone is stupid. I don't think anybody's retarded, especially when you know these terms. Now, people may be retarded because retard really just means slow, mentally slow. And that means you have the potential to speed it up, but you don't want to do it. So that means you want to stay retarded. So please walk with me as I speak like this. So imagine somebody that's retarded and they have the potential to be this beautiful genius, but they don't want to be it. In fact, the fact of the matter is they don't want to be it to the point where now they don't want you to be it. And if they don't want you to be it, then what are we dealing with? You know what I mean? It's like somebody be like, if I'm dumb, then that means you gotta be dumb too. You're not understanding. Me, my personal opinion towards intellect, and for people who's been blessed with a higher level of intellect, is literally their responsibility. It's a duty. It's a privilege and a duty for you to increase the pace of others who are behind. Literally, that's just what it is. In all shapes and forms. If you've been blessed with a high level of intellect, it is your duty. It's not only a gift, it is a privilege for you to increase others around you. Simple as that. That's how you serve with the gift that God has given you. You've been given a high level of intellect, so that means it is your duty and it is your privilege to increase others around you. Period. Now, the beautiful thing about that, you will get blessed for it. Like, you're going to, the more selfless you are, the more things will happen for yourself. Period. Like, that's just what it is. But when you personalize the intellect and you personalize, oh, this is mine, this is something I worked on, this is something I get it. Your ego's kicking in, all right? Now it's pride kicking in, things like that. You got to be careful with situations like that because it begets other things. Pride begets greed, greed begets lust, lust begets wrath. You know what I mean? These things start to beget other traits that's going to deter your intelligence. Now your intellect is no longer growing fruitfully anymore. It's just going to be stupor. I'm telling you right now, you can be very, very smart or very, very dumb at the same time. I met a lot of people like that, trust and believe, right? And I sit here in the state, I am in no shape or form saying that I'm some super intellect, super genius. I'm just very blessed with my own perspective. And if people deem that to be intellect, thank you very much for giving me the compliment. Because trust me, there's other people out there that feels like I'm probably not as smart as this, down, and third. But how I look at myself is very, very sexy. You can't stop that. Yeah, but I digress, right? So when you have this high level of intellect, it's literally your duty and your responsibility to increase the intellect of everyone around you. That's the whole point. The whole point is to push the slower in front and to help them speed them up. Why? Because they have the potential to move even faster than you. Now that's very important right here. I'm veering off. I want to get back to the point. Potentiality is so key and it's so important to the fact that that's what God is. Well, that's why God, to me, my personal opinion, is so fascinated with human beings, because they hold the potentiality to be able to achieve great monumentous things that cannot even be recorded, and it's only recorded when it is done. Literally, potentiality is so important. However, that potentiality can go either way. That's the only thing that makes it so interesting and so sensitive to watch, because it can go climbs and can go record-breaking feats of positivity to the highest level of high, but it can also go to the negative level of the negative. I digress. I'm getting too passionate about the situation, but it can. All right, I truly feel that. So imagine a retarded individual who has the potential of being a genius, but chooses not to acknowledge their ingenuity, but they acknowledge their own pride and ego into the fact that everything goes into self. And remember, when everything goes into yourself, and when it starts going just simply like it's all for me, that's not in the third, you're going to deteriorate. Literally, you're going to deteriorate. Remember, even if you have your own personality, you have your own thing, everything is supposed to be in stream form. It can come from you onto the other. Remember, the greatest love we have is for each other, and the greatest resources we have is each other. So in that sense in life, we have to streamline it to another. Literally, even as you're reading the word and you're reading the Bible, you start to realize this is beautiful, but now this is not just for me. I think you realize a lot of people personalize their Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. Yes, he is, but it means everyone's. But again, that's the level. When you get to that point, you understand what I'm saying. I digress. Don't beat me up. You don't even have to watch my videos, but you do. So being that you do watch my videos, sit back, relax, and take a seat and watch me speak. Can you dig it? Or if not, you can click the X, thumbs down, thumbs up, doesn't matter to me, because you already sat here and gave me attention. Moving on, right? So imagine that. And when it goes and it deteriorates their situation, it deteriorates their inner being because they're becoming gluttonous, right? It's a reason why there's 7 deadly sins, right? It's a reason why it was introduced for you to stay away from. Once you stay away from it, you have, because trust me, you realize, once you start realizing things and you're having faith backed up, oh man, it's on and on. You'll be good to go, right? I digress. Just imagine that, right? Now, imagine this retarded individual who has the potential to be a genius, will have animosity towards individual who actually put the time into study, who put the time into work, who put the time into be able to increase their intellect. You know, they read their books, they've studied, they did the inner work, they've worked on themselves consistently and constantly. You have to realize there are individuals out there who are truly jealous of hard work. Wow. They're jealous of hard work. Simple as that, because you can't escape work. Even a CEO of a company works. Just like the employee, they work. You cannot escape work. But I'm still talking about individuals who are truly hard work. And you can't, it's another level of, I don't even know how to explain it because I don't understand it, you know? And I'm digressing. I'm not trying to turn this into a vent session, although all my videos are me venting, right? I digress, right? You know. But what do you think is going to happen, right? When you're going to retard hold animosity and they have the potential to be a genius themselves. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to go inward. They're going to implode. It's going to become negative. It's going to click. Things are going to be malfunctioning. You know, now all the cheese is on the crack. A couple of loose screws up there. You know what I mean? The command center when no one's in command, pretty much. You know what I mean? I digress. As long as you understand, right? And I say these terms in a sensitive sense, please, because I do understand that now the times and days and now people are very sensitive to the words that are spoken. You know what I mean? But I do urge others to pick up a dictionary, learn the words that are being spoken, take responsibility for your own intellect, and be able to converse more properly. And if you can, beautiful. Yes, and stop being so sensitive on other people's conversations and to learn. Such a beautiful thing to learn. And most importantly, smile, right? But I don't know what you're going through, so see God. I digress. What makes it wrong, what makes foolishness more foolish is the fact that they have others that agree with this fictitious, I don't even know how to, like, it's just, error is generational, right? Literally, error is generational. If they have a fractured way of thinking of certain situations, then they're going to teach this fractured way to their children. And their children is going to teach it to their children until hopefully one day a child wakes up and be like, you know what? That's wrong. That's not the right way to do this. Like, you're bugging out. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing. Hopefully that happens, but usually it doesn't. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say that because I have faith in it, but they do act like that. But I'll just leave it like that. I'm gonna wrap the video up with that. Cause when I be writing this down, I'll be like, yo, I write points down and then I go with it. Whatever, I digress. Anyway, peace, love, and light, guys. Appreciate the video. And again, this message is for the adept out there, for the master, the pro fisher, the e-fisher, the self-fisher, the one that's always doing and never losing, that's growing golden and glowing at all times. You know what's going on when I'm here. Peace to everybody. And for the haters out there that love watching your boy, make sure you get to my good side. Can you dig it? Peace, love, and light. I'll catch you guys in the next video.